Hey guys, this week we're going to be talking about values. You've already answered a few questions yesterday. You'll have a check-in, check-out. We're trying to shorten some of your workload a little bit this week just to make things a little easier. But with values, it's things that are important to you, things that really matter. And I think what we'll find out a lot of times is middle school students and people in general value a lot of the same things. And so here's a list of different values. These are not necessarily things that are the most important to you. You know, somebody might say a sense of humor is very important, but you don't really care. Somebody else says wealth's really important, but that's not a big deal. It depends on who you are. So if I was looking at this list, there's a couple things that stand out that really are important to me. One is family. I think family is a very important value. In fact, some of the answers that some students have already submitted to me have included that. Another one that's really important to me is religion. One of the questions that we were looking at is how do values and this pandemic that we've been dealing with, being out of school, coronavirus, how do they kind of overlap where perhaps it makes us appreciate some things that we didn't think about before? I'm a preacher at a couple different churches. So the opportunity to go and preach is something that's very important to me, and to be able to talk to folks about these things. So religion's important. Did the virus have a big deal on that? Absolutely. I mean, for a while, we went, I think, 2 weeks straight and didn't have services at all. That was extremely strange for me. I don't think I've ever missed 2 weeks of church in my life. So not going at all for 2 weeks was a really weird thing for me. And it makes you stop and think, wow, this is, these things really are important. And it's really strange when that's missing. With family, perhaps it's been a little bit of a positive thing. We've had a little bit more time together because whenever we're at home, there's not as many things to go out and do. We get to spend a little bit more time together. The only problem is I can't get my kids to play board games, and I really wish they would, but oh well. So what we're going to do for a few minutes, we're going to talk to some of your other teachers and find out what things are important to them, what values they have, and then maybe you can think about that with some other students and see how maybe some things that we took for granted that we didn't realize were so important really were important, and maybe some things that we thought were a big deal we find out really weren't such a big deal after all.
All right, guys, Mr. Blevins here. A couple of my values I want to point out. One being family. Like Mr. Allison just mentioned, we've had some extra family time, sometimes good, sometimes not so good, but we all value our family. I'm thankful for them, and this has been a time where we've all been sort of cooped up, that we get to know each other even a little bit better. Also, within my family, athleticism is a value that we all enjoy. We've played sports. My wife and I both played sports. Both my children have played sports and had a really lot of fun in the sporting world. Learned a lot of new things. Went to a lot of new places. And so, family and athleticism. Cool.
Hey, how do you think COVID's affected athleticism?
Well, it allows you to more personal workout time. So it's been great. Sorry.
All right, guys. So Mr. Allison, Mr. Blevins picked up a few things here. I'm going to go a different route. I'm going to go with honesty, and I think honesty is important because I'm pretty a blunt person. I'm just going to lay it out and tell you how it is. And then also learning. You're never too old to learn something new. I mean, even us and Mr. Allison, especially, he's old, but he was my teacher. But learning something new every day is important.
Hey, Ms. Hadley here. Mr. Allison has touched on some very good points, and I think the other ones have too. But one value I have is helping others. During this COVID time, I think sometimes we have reached out more, helping other people than maybe we normally would. I know I have. So that has kind of helped me in a way to show more affection and care about others during this time. And another value is friends. I think we have all come closer to each other, and maybe have reached out to other friends that we normally wouldn't reach out to. I know I have made some new friends during this time and become acquainted with other ones. So it's just been a really good thing. The positive with the COVID, I guess I should say, is we can help others. We have made new friends. I know some of us have.
Hi, Miss Juliet here. So when we're talking about values, you've heard different people's examples of what's important to them. Some of the things that I value are, of course, family. I think family is just very important to spend time with them and to have people that you love and care for and that love and care for you. Also, religion. I go to church, and anyway, that's just a very, very important thing to me, that just helps me through each day and each week. So religion is very important to me. Honesty, I think, is just one of the most important things that we can do, because without honesty, who are we really? That's really a main part of your character. So I think that honesty is extremely important. Also, so I've got several values here that rank pretty high in my book. So nature, nature is just beautiful. So go out and enjoy nature, okay? Do it in a safe manner, but just go outside. Don't stay cooped up in the house all the time, and just enjoy the beauty that's out here, just, in your yard. That's really wonderful. And then art, of course, because art can relieve stress. It's a form of therapy in itself, just looking at art, experiencing art. And even if you don't think of yourself as an artist, take time to do that, because it's very relaxing, and you might find that you're really awesome at it. Bye guys, have a great day.
Oh, I'm in class. Sorry about that, kids. I tell you, I sure miss being in class because I love being humorous with you all. I miss my singing time with some of my classes because you all get to join me in my classes with singing. And I forget that we're not, in a concert. So I just love being humorous. That is one of the things I value, is being humorous, because it gets me through the day with all my students. Okay? But on a more serious note, I really like being an athlete. I know some of you are athletes. Some of you love getting up and moving. And sometimes in the gym, that's the only time you have to get out and to be active. So I'm ready for us to come back to school. Believe me, we're going to have all kinds of games and things to enjoy when we get to the gym. And if we can't go to the gym, we're going outside. Miss Gossett said we could use some time every day to get in the gym and to get outside. We still have to social distance and probably wear our mask. I value being active. Now, let me tell you what my children and I have been doing over the summer and how COVID has affected us since March, and we were being in and kind of cooped up together, and I was at school and they were home. There was times that we would go, when we get done with our homework, Miss Gossage would say, Miss Bronda, if you are able to serve our children through the House of Blessings, please go and help them as well. So that's what my children and I did. We have began working at the House of Blessings, and even now, when my children are finished doing their homework and their classwork on that lovely Chromebook, sometimes we go to the House of Blessings, where we serve, at one point it was almost 600 people 3 times a week. It is a wonderful program. It really gets us out, and my children, their eyes were opened to the needs of our community and our county. And so, I encourage you, get out and help somebody. Another thing that I really value is my religion, my faith in Jesus Christ. My children did not realize how COVID affected them until they could not go to youth services on Wednesday nights or have Sunday morning Sunday school, where they got to see their friends that they don't normally see through the week. So that really affected them. It really affected me in ways that I have a new sense of appreciation of getting to go to church on Sunday mornings. We still wear our masks, social distance, but to be thankful to hear the Word of God. I am so blessed to be able to still get to do that in a free country. Take advantage of seeing the freedoms that you have even now, even though you are still cooped up. I love you all. I miss you. And I am ready to woo with you all. Woo!